Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Thursday. Hope you guys are having a great week. If you're new here, hi, I'm Madison. And today we are doing an episode where we are asking the Akashic Records. And so, if you're new here, the Akashic Records is the main modality I work with. It is being able to connect with spirit guides, sort of through a container of light, but also in a way that really allows you to go deeper into just general questions and sort of truth seeking. So originally I stumbled upon the Akashic Record because I was trying to figure out my soul purpose and why I had spiritual gifts. And now I actually will go into the Akashic Records and just ask about things going on or that I'm experiencing. So that's what we're going to get into today. If everything feels off, everything feels disconnected, this is the video for you because we're going to talk about how to know that you are in between timelines. And so I've been in this space where I've been getting a lot of redirection, a lot of guidance, a lot of just like things in the works, but I haven't yet seen the payoff for these things, right? It's very much like there's been a lot of work and money and time and energy invested, but I'm not quite to the point where I'm going to see that come to fruition, right? So I'm in this in between space, and I really feel like I have, since I've been going through this transition the last couple of months, it's almost like a spiritual upgrade, like a spiritual clearing, like definitely like some stronger intuition coming online, definitely like some future guidance coming in a little bit stronger. But then it's like, okay, I know maybe what to do next, but like it's not, we're not there yet, right? So, 5 ways to know you're in between timelines. So, I went into the Akashic Records and I was like, why am I feeling so off? And I was shown that I'm in between timelines right now. And I personally don't do well with transition, right? Like, I like consistency and like to know what's going on. And right now, in this phase of transition, I don't really feel like I have that stability, maybe like I've had it in the past, right? So let's get into it. Number one, part of the old has fallen away, but the new hasn't fully come in. And so this looks like you may be having a transition where you knew certain things didn't align, and maybe you've given up those things, but maybe the things or people that you're replacing those with haven't come in yet. And so you're sort of in this in between where you're like, okay, I can't go back because I know that wasn't good for me, but I'm maybe bored or lonely or whatever, kind of in the middle phase, right? Okay, number two, money feels certain but pending. What I mean by this is I'm definitely getting that there's a lot of people that are waiting to get like the payoff of something where maybe you've invested a lot of time and money and energy into something, but maybe you haven't gotten that 3D tangible reward yet. Maybe you are seeing all the signs and synchronicities, but like that tangible abundance hasn't come through yet. Number three, how to know you're in between timelines. Your guides either feel really close or really far. And I was sort of like, okay, I get this because I get that sometimes people go through situations and they're like, I feel like my guides are so far away, or they go through situations and they're like, I feel like my guides are so close. I personally have experienced both, right? And so I was trying to figure out like what determines, right? Because I've experienced both. So I was like, does everybody have the ability to experience both, or is it like one or the other, right? And what I got was it's really based on your coping mechanisms. So if you're somebody who, whenever things go wrong, you just go inward, you don't want any help, you just want to be left alone, you're probably somebody that your guides might feel further away during that time. And it might just be an option to just like, hey guides, I know normally I would like isolate, but I need some help or protection during this time. But the flip side is that people that are normally very like, okay, I need help, I need guidance, asking for that, those might be the people whose guides feel a little bit closer. And if you're like, okay, I feel like I'm doing that and maybe I'm not seeing the results that I'm looking for, a couple things. One, maybe you're expecting a specific thing to come through and maybe it's supposed to be coming through a little bit differently. What I mean by this is your guides can speak through so many ways. The other day I asked for clarity on something when I was like meditating in the Akashic Records, and I didn't really feel like I got like a clear answer. And then I got in the car and the song lyric was the answer to my question. And I was like, that's crazy. So old Madison would have been like, that's such a weird coincidence. And this version of Madison is like, oh, thanks, that's my answer. Cool, next thing, right? So I really think that this is all based on where you are in your healing journey and all of that. But I always think you can definitely invite your guides to come in and be there, even if they show up in unconventional ways. Okay, 4, people you used to associate with feel mundane. So maybe you have a group of friends, you used to always love hanging out with them, but now maybe your interests have shifted and maybe you don't feel like you fit in. So what's happening here is you, as you go through any sort of like healing or spiritual journey, you are literally starting to vibrate higher, right? And so let's say you're vibrating up here and like thinking about like the future, being present, and you have some friends that they're down here. They're kind of like angry and stuck in the past and like they're, have a victim mindset. That's not going to feel good for you vibrationally, because what's going to happen is either they're going to pull you down or you're going to sort of start to drift away a little bit, right? And so I love the concept of the bridge theory when we're talking about this, because I had a therapist when I was very early in recovery, and she taught me the bridge theory, which is that whenever you're on your healing and recovery journey, you have like your healing side of the bridge over here, and then you have like most of the people from your old life over here, right? And you can associate with these people to whatever capacity they don't cause you to go backwards on the bridge, right? And once you notice that you start to go backwards, maybe into old habits or old patterns of thinking or whatever, that's when you need to maybe set some boundaries or make different decisions, right? Um, so what I wrote down for that one is just like it's an upgraded frequency. And so for me, this happened in a couple waves, right? Whenever I got divorced from my ex-husband, I lost like 90% of my friends all at once. And then I had like a few friends that were like long-term friends that kind of slowly fell off, right? As I was kind of going through this journey. And then there was a long time where I felt like it was just like me and Brandon. And I was just like, babe, you're my only friend. And now I've shifted into a space where I have a whole new circle and tribe of friends that are so much more aligned than people that I used to hang out with, right? Just because I now have people that are interested in the same things I am, right? And for me, that shifted a lot because I used to spend all of my free time drinking and partying. And, now I obviously spend it a little bit differently. Okay, so number 5, things are falling apart or not happening according to plan. Okay, and what I wrote down about this is a lot of times you're probably planning things at your old vibrational frequency, and then in your new vibrational frequency, they're not panning out. I'll give you an example of this. I worked an event recently, and like the event came, and I was like, I shouldn't have signed up for this event, and I'm a business owner. I make the decisions. If I'm at an event, it's because I decided and paid to be there, right? If I'm working like a vendor event, right? So obviously I still go, right? Because if I sign up, I'm going to go regardless of whether or not I don't feel like it, right? So I go and I was like, why do I feel like I'm like being here is not aligned? And my guides basically showed me that like the version of me that booked that particular date was like maybe a lower frequency day or a lower frequency vibration of self. And that day I was, showing up a little bit more high vibration. So the decision I made from the low vibrational state didn't match the high vibrational state. And so there's this disconnect, right? So that I thought was really interesting because I was almost being shown that like new levels equal like you not being able to maybe be in the same spaces that were associated with that old frequency. So I thought that was super cool to see. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, I have a ton of content on my website that is really in depth, like my remote viewing experience, things like that. It is all under my 5D membership. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I do offer Akashic Records readings and I offer Akashic Records classes. I also do energy healing through Reiki, and I have a few circles as well that I do. So I would love to connect with you guys in person or virtually to help you and support you on your spiritual awakening journey or getting more comfortable with your spiritual gifts or whatever you're feeling drawn to right now. I hope that you save this video for the next time that you're stuck in between timelines, and I will see you guys on the next